Hey guys, and welcome back to Hummingbird Acres. Today on the vlog, we are going to be making some sourdough brownies. So once a month, our church does a potluck, and more often than not, I find something sourdough to make. So today was no different, and I actually made these the night before, just because of time constraints. And I also doubled this recipe. If you're looking for the recipe, it is on our website. I'll leave a link below for you. But they are sourdough brownies. So let's hop right into making these yummy, yummy brownies. So like I said, I did double this recipe just because I felt like it wasn't going to be enough batter for as many brownies as I wanted to make. And when I do sourdough, I always seem to have a heavy hand, and I always do more than I'm supposed to. So first thing you're going to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want to line a baking sheet. If you're doing a single batch, I would line a 9x9, but I did a double, so I lined a 9 by, I think it was 18. And then I'm going to melt butter in a saucepan over low heat. I just don't want to do it too hot because I don't want it to burn or melt. Once the butter is all melted, you're going to add in your chocolate chips, your vanilla extract, and your cocoa powder. I absolutely love this recipe because I don't have to do a double oven. I don't have to melt the chocolate slowly over water. Being able to dump the chocolate chips in and just wait for them to melt just makes things so much easier and so much faster. So once I have all of those ingredients in the pot, I stir all of them together until the chocolate chips have melted and the mixture becomes really, really smooth. Once that is done, I remove it from the heat. Make sure you turn the burner off, and I'm going to let it just cool because it needs to cool down for a little bit. While I'm letting that cool, I am going to mix together the next part of the recipe, and that is our eggs, brown sugar, and our white sugar. And we're going to mix these with an electric mixer. If you have a stand mixer, I highly suggest you use it because you're going to mix these together for about 7 to 10 minutes. So stand mixer would be very, very helpful. Once you have all of that mixed together, you are going to stir in your sourdough discard. Yep, this is another discard recipe. You guys know I love my discard recipes, and I have them all put together in a book for you. So if you are looking for sourdough discard recipes, these are our everyday recipes we use. I will leave a link below for that book for you. It's our everyday sourdough discard. So add in your sourdough and then fold that in. And then you're going to take your chocolate mixture that is cooled off by now, and you are going to put that in, and you are going to mix it together on low speed until everything is combined. Once all of that is combined together, you're going to add your flour and your salt. And instead of mixing it with the mixer now, you are going to use a spatula to mix this together, and you're going to mix it until it's just combined. This batter is going to be very, very thick, but I promise all will be okay. From there, you're going to pour the batter into your baking dish, and you are going to smooth it out. Now, for me, this is where things, I really should have thought out the whole doubling the recipe. Because as I was putting the batter into the baking dish, I realized that it was a lot of batter, and these brownies were going to be really, really thick. And sure enough, they were really, really thick. So for a single batch of this recipe, you are going to bake them for 35 to 40 minutes at 350 degrees. Because I doubled this and the brownies were really, really, really thick, I think I ended up baking this for more like an hour. I think it was like an hour. But they turned out great. They turned out fine. And next time, if I do double it, I will probably get an even bigger baking dish. I think we have another one that's bigger than this one, and I will bake it in that because these were so thick that when I cut them for church, I actually cut them small because they were so thick. It was like if they got a big one, you were just going to have way, way too much brownies. So a couple tips for these brownies though, you want to make sure they cool completely in the pan after they are done. And if you lined your baking dish with parchment paper, it's really easy to pull the parchment paper out and cut the brownies that way. And you cut them whatever size you want, whatever fits your fancy. Like I said, these I cut smaller because they were so thick, but to each their own. This recipe was a huge hit at church. Everyone absolutely loved them. My kids loved them to the point where when we went to leave, I was just planning on leaving the brownies. Marisol actually went and got the container, put the lid back on them, and she carried them to the car to make sure they went home with us. So I would say these got a 5-star, most definitely. And we will definitely be making them again. So there you have it, our sourdough discard brownie recipe. Like I said, the full recipe is on our website. You can head on over there to get it. But these are an easy sourdough recipe for you, and they are super yummy. Have any questions? Make sure you leave them in the comments below. And make sure you hit that like and the subscribe button so that you never miss an adventure on our homestead and around our farm. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will talk to you soon.